Okay, so let's get started. Welcome everyone who's watching off Facebook or Instagram, whichever way you are watching. This is our Fearless Immunity Masterclass. We're going to go really in depth in the next 6 weeks. One thing, if you're watching and if you just tuned in, please share this. Tell me where you're from. Tag somebody who really needs to hear truth. I think really the 2020 is over, but now it's 2021. And what I've realized, my team has realized, Max Living has realized, is that the world needs truth. Amen. It just does. The world just needs truth. And that's one of the biggest reasons, I decided to do this 6-week course, because I'm really going to break down some truth. There's so many contraindicating things in this world, with the media and things like that, even social media. So there's so many things like, what do you believe? That's really what it comes down to. And so in these next 6 weeks, we're really going to break down certain topics that involve, building your immune system, but not only that, it's just to debunk all these myths that you hear all around. And we're really going to break it down, and so you can be encouraged and have hope and not be in fear like the majority of people are, and step into faith, walking by faith instead of living in fear. And so I'm really excited for this. This is going to be really, really good. But we're going to get started right here. Hopefully you are blessed. You are blessed in these next 6 weeks. Please tune in. It's going to be at 11 o'clock every Saturday. Just a little bit about me that you don't know, what got me into chiropractic. I suffered with bad allergies from young all the way up. And it got to a point, I always had Zyrtec in my pocket. I always had Nasonex. I was always going spraying things in my nose and things like that. I was a wrestler in high school and college, and I struggled with that. I had to stop my matches in order for me to sneeze. And so I struggled bad. I had headaches because of my allergies. I had these allergy attacks. And so, but it got to a point where somebody invited me to go see a chiropractor. And for the first time in my life, I heard where true health and healing came from. And that's when I started getting my spine corrected. And for it's been 12 years since I've had any type of allergies, any type of sneezing, things like that, like I was before. So chiropractic saved my life, basically, because if I would have continued the path where I was going, then I probably would have been still taking Nasonex and probably sinus surgery or some type of injections, steroids, be on steroids and things like that. Probably would have been broken out, things like that, if I would have continued the way I was going. And so, but because of chiropractic and this lifestyle that I'm going to teach y'all, which includes the 5 essentials. They're essential, and I'm going to be talking about them. Today's going to be like an introduction of what the next 6 weeks is going to look like, but really the 5 essentials that I truly teach, that's what saved my life. And I'm going to teach y'all exactly what that is. And so what is our purpose? Why is Life by Design Chiropractic here in Lake Charles, Louisiana? And the biggest thing is to instill hope, healing, and strength in the body to the people of Southwest Louisiana, to live to their God-given potential. And I've said this before, Louisiana is the sickest state in the country. We have more heart disease, more diabetes, more cancer than anywhere. And so, yes, is our food, but there's so many other things. And so, it's just nobody's taking responsibility for their health. And so it's my job, or my purpose, is to come and to instill hope, to instill strength. There is no hope. There is no strength. Nobody's instilling hope. Nobody's instilling strength, because it's all fear. It's all manipulation. And so we need hope and we need strength, especially trusting our bodies, which God created and designed to heal from the inside out. And so we'll go to the next phase right here. So in the next 6 weeks, what are we going to learn? So we're going to strengthen our natural defenses. So week 1 is the introduction of the 5 essentials. Week 2, we're going to talk about viruses. Yes, we're going to talk about corona. We're going to talk about the flu. We're going to talk about the corona vaccine. We're going to talk about the flu vaccine. We're going to be talking about all these different types of, how, research now is showing that bacteria and viruses are actually good for you. It actually absolutely builds your immune system. And so it's pretty interesting stuff. Like, we may be talking about masks and stuff like that, but, it's just depending on where we go with this. And if anybody has questions, please let me know. You can write, you can put it in the comments section. But we're going to talk about week 2. Week 3, we're going to talk about cancer. Cancer is literally the second leading cause of death in the U.S. Heart disease is number 1. Cancer is number 2. So that's big. We're going to show you really how to build your immune system, how to increase your immune system, and how to overcome. If you have cancer, what can you do? What kind of steps you can take that's not chemo and radiation. Number 4, week 4, we're going to talk about the nervous system. Nervous system is really our bread and butter. I mean, it is the most important system in your body. Is your brain, your spinal cord, but it's the most neglected system in the world. People don't even think about the nervous system until they get numbness and tingling, or they start forgetting something. And so, like, people need to be aware of how important the nervous system is and what chiropractic can do for the nervous system. Week 5 is next level nutrition and detoxification. So next level. So if you've never listened to my Nutrition 101 classes, you can go on YouTube and go to Life by Design Chiropractic and listen to my Nutrition 101. It's an hour-long video. Because before you come to week 5, before you listen in to week 5, go to YouTube, go to lifebyzonchiropractic.com, Life by Design Chiropractic, and listen to Nutrition 101. It's an hour long, and then, because this is going to be a next level nutrition detoxification, this is going to be more in depth. We're going to be talking about, things that are in our foods, the chemicals that are in our foods. It's about quality, not quantity. It's about chemicals, not calories. And so it's going to be a different level of thinking. And so, and also week 6, this can be your favorite or it can be your least favorite. And it's about fitness plans, exercise, the importance of exercise. And so, like, it's so important. Our bodies were made to move. If you're not moving, you're dying. Your joints are breaking down. And so, and from then on, after week 6, I'm actually going to start working out with all our patients on Saturdays. We're going to have a 20-minute workout just right here, or even outside if it's warm enough. And so every single Saturday, I'll be working out for the whole entire year, 2021. And so, so we can reduce the excuses. Also, I'm also going to give y'all a meal plan. A 6-week meal plan. So if there's some people that's trying to lose weight, has a weight loss plan or things like that, we're actually going to give you a 6-week meal plan of what to buy, what to buy in the grocery store, what stores to go to, what meals to eat. We're just going to lay it down for you so it makes it easier for you, and we're going to work out with you. In order to help you reach your goals, in order to help you build this lifestyle without sickness and disease, so you can start building health instead of building sickness and disease. Because every single day we have a choice. You can build health or you build sickness. And then sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. But you have to make that choice consciously. You have to make that choice every single day. So that is for the next 6 weeks. I hope this blesses you every single week. If you're just tuning in, please share this. Write somebody's name on there that needs to hear this life-changing information. And so we're going to go to the next slide right here. And so, truth. So there's a lot of many contraindicating views. And so, and what I've noticed is that I think the most contraindicating views is all these mandates that we have. And so, like, one thing that we're going to learn in the next 6 weeks, I think it's contraindicating when you walk into a restaurant and you're wearing a mask and to get to your seat, and then you sit down and you have to take it off, as if the virus doesn't come when it's standing and sitting. It's like you see, like the logic that, like, there's not much common sense. And so but there's camps out there that say that wearing a mask that actually increases your chances of contacting corona and coronavirus and also flu, due to the moisture in the mask. There's camps out there that says you have to wear a mask. There's camps out there that says that you have to have the vaccine and things like that. So we're really gonna see it from both sides, and I really want to challenge you, really, in the next 6 weeks, like, just start, be open and start thinking about, common sense. I think we've lost common sense, and we've just bought the idea of, just whatever the news, whatever the government knows is correct. Whatever the government does, that's what I'm going to do. That's what's right. That's what's law, and things like that. So I'm definitely going to challenge you a bit. And so, but we're going to see all different views. And I think that's very important. And then you make the choice. And so let's see. There's a scripture I wanna share with you, because once I read the scripture, this is when I knew, okay, I have to do the 6-week course. And it comes with 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy 4:3-5. I'm going to read it to you, okay? 2 Timothy 4:3-5, it says, "For the time is coming when people will not tolerate, endure sound and wholesome instruction, by having ears itching for something pleasing and gratifying. They will gather to themselves one teacher after another, to considerable number, choosing to satisfy their own liking and to foster the errors they hold. And they will turn aside from hearing the truth and wander off into myths and man-made fictions. As for you, be calm and cool and steady, and accept and suffer unflinchingly every hardship. Do the work of an evangelist. Fully perform all the duties of your ministry." And so once I read that, I was like, whoa. Like, that's so true, especially what's happening in the society. Like, we try to, we go to the side of comfort most of the time. But for the next 6 weeks, I really want to give you some challenges, or challenge you in order to think differently. And so, like, the word says, like, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so what I want to get to you these 6 weeks is to really start renewing your mind. Start thinking about certain topics that are very, very important, because that's going to affect you, especially in the long run. But not just you, but your kids also. And so, but let's get down to what this is right here. So what is the state of health in the U.S.? And so, I mean, don't take my word for it. Just look at the statistics. And so right now, especially approximately 71.6% of adults over the age of 20 are overweight or obese. And so, like, over 70%, and we got 350 million people here in the U.S. And when you think about COVID, like, COVID is affecting and it's killing the people who have 2 or more comorbidities, who have, either heart disease or some type of 2 or other chronic diseases, either autoimmune conditions, things like that, because their immune system is so low. If they catch it, boom, it starts wrecking them. And so, like, and that's the majority of our country. And when you think about it, like, this is the U.S. I mean, we're the world power here in the world. And we got one of the sickest nations in history. And so, and when you think about this, heart disease is the number one leading cause of death in the U.S., and number 2 is cancer. Approximately 45.8% of people in the United States have used a prescription medication in the last 30 days. That's almost 50%. And so, so if you think about it, if pills, surgery, shot was working, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. We would all be healed. Because we consume, we're 5% of the population, and we take 75% of the world's drugs. The U.S. And so, if that was working, this probably wouldn't even be happening. But it's not. It's failed, and it continues to double and double diseases and prognosis and things like that. So it's really destroying people's lives because they haven't really learned a different way. They think this is the only way. And so over 100 million adults in the United States have diabetes or prediabetes. And so, which is totally preventable. Diabetes, heart disease, these are all totally preventable. It's just you got to have the right lifestyle. And that's when the 5 essentials come in. And that's what we're going to teach in the next 6 weeks is these 5 essentials in order to equip you and build you so you can start building health instead of building sickness. And so, also, another statistic is 1 out of 40 boys will be autistic. It used to be 1 in 10,000. And so, what happened? You know, what happened 100 years ago compared to now? Things have changed. And so, there's now a 600% increase from 20 years ago of kids who get asthma. I mean, asthma used to not even be existing, but now it's prevalent. Almost every kid has asthma, it seems like. And so, and there's a lot of things into it. It's not just one thing, but there's several other things. Why is our lungs not working? So the question that people should ask is, I heard here, I have this going on with my colon. What chemical do I put in my body in order to manipulate my body in order to do what I want it to do? The question should always be, okay, why is this hurting? Why is my colon, why am I getting constipated? What is causing it? Not what should I do to erase the symptom? You see, that's more of a reactive. And what we're going to teach you is more of a proactive reaction of health, which is one of the best things that you can do if you want to live a long, healthier life. And so when it comes to, there's 2 types of models, a disease model and a health model. And when it comes to the disease model, I like showing this picture. This is like a dirty leg. I don't know if y'all can see this, but it's a little leg and has garbage all over the place and things like that. And so this is our disease model of healthcare. And so basically, let's say if a dog comes to this pond or this lake and starts drinking out of that dirty pond, and they start drinking out of that, and this dog starts developing, heart disease, start developing a tumor and things like that. If you go to our disease model of healthcare, what do they do? What do they look at? They look at the tumor and they say, let's take this tumor out of there. Your heart's not working, let's give you this and this and this. That's the disease model. However, that dog comes back really good. The tumor's out, taking some medications for the heart, but guess what? He goes back and starts drinking the same water. And so they've never changed the environment the dog was in. And so if you want to be healthy, the key to being healthy and having longevity without sickness and disease or a better and adaptive state is we have to clean up the environment. In the environment inside your body, what are you putting inside your body that's causing you to get sick? That's the biggest thing. And so you have to, if you can't, what we have in our society, no, let's add more toxins to get you healthy. Let's add more of this, add more of this, add more of this to create health. That's not how you create health. You have to empty the bucket. You have to clean this right here so you can have clean water so the dog can go back to that environment so it can't continue to get sick. I mean, if you go back to that environment after you've been healed, guess what? You're going to get sick again and again and again. So the whole reason we have the 5 essentials is to clean the bucket. Oh, there's somebody coming in right there. How's it going? You can come right in here. It's all right.
Able to leave work, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it. Hey,
yes. How's it going?
I'm good.
Yes, and so we got it on Facebook Live too. But I started. We just talked about the health model and the disease model, and so basically that's our healthcare system, the disease model, and so. When I, just to give you a little recap, a disease model is basically when something hurts you or things like that, you go to the doctor, and guess what they give you probably? They look at you, they may just talk to you, they probably don't even touch you, and they give you what? Some type of medication, said take this and see how that does. You go back home and then you come back. Let's say the pain still hurts, and so you go back, and then they said, oh, here's something stronger. And so you go to Walgreens, you get it, boom, you take it, oh, that doesn't work. Then you go back to that doctor, and what happens? And so, oh, you need to go see a specialist for a special price, right? And then you go, and then they give you a special drug. And so, and see if that works, and if that doesn't work, they just take it out of your body. That's basically our healthcare system. And so, and what I explain to everybody on Facebook and right here is that this is like a disease model. Basically, you see this is a dirty pond, a dirty lake right here. Let's say a dog comes in and drinks that water. That dog gets sick. Maybe it grows a tumor, maybe it gets heart disease, whatever it is. And what happens, you can take out the tumor. You can give some blood pressure medication. However, the dog comes back and look, it keeps drinking out of that water. So it never got to the cause of the problem, which was the environment the dog was in. And so the key to health is cleaning out your environment, internal environment, personal environment. You got to clean the junk that's in your body that you've been building up all these years. And so hopefully that makes sense here. And so, and what I'm going to teach you for the next 6 weeks is a different type of health model that will help any type of chronic disease, and it's called the 5 essentials. And so when it comes, this is what the disease model, this is how it's been working. The average monthly cost of chemotherapy is $1,000 to $12,000. That's the average cost monthly. And so you pay all this money in your health to what? To take away the symptom, but you never get down to the cause of the problem. You never get to the environment, the toxicity, like that dog going back. You got to clean that environment in order for that dog to stay healthy. And so it won't come back and come back and come back. A lot of people who have cancer, the cancer just keeps coming back. You know, that they're in remission for a couple of years, and then boom, they come back. Oh, now more chemo, more radiation, things like that. And then you just become weaker and weaker and weaker. There's a better way. There's a better way. And so average monthly cost of medication is about $1,200. Average monthly cost of medication. And so average cost of heart surgery, $324,000. So the cost of sickness outweighs of cost of health. And so somebody just had heart surgery and said after insurance, they still owe $45,000. After insurance, they still owe $45,000. So, average yearly cost of diabetes care, $10,000 for diabetes, which is totally preventable. which is totally preventable. And so when we look at all this, it's like when people say, well, man, taking care of my health is too expensive. Well, sickness is too expensive. You can't afford to not take care of your body. And so like you cannot afford to not take care of your body, because if not, like down the line when all these problems come, it's just going to wear you out. I mean, this is where you have to take responsibility for your health. And so like in the next 6 weeks, that's what we're going to talk about, of how to take responsibility. But not only that, it gives you the tools. Here it is. And now all you have to do is just step in, and we're going to make it easy. I mean, in the end, we're going to give you meal plans. We're going to work out with you on Saturdays. I'm going to work out with you. We're going to give you a 6-week weight loss meal plans, where to go, where to shop, what foods to get, things like that on your budget. And so like, and we're trying to make it easy so this doesn't have to be you. And so the health model. So a health model is the 5 essentials that we're going to that saved my life, basically. You know, like I said before, I had bad allergies that took me out of commission in my wrestling matches. I always had headaches. I was sneezing over it all the time. Chiropractic saved my life. And so like now I haven't had allergies in about 12 years. I really haven't. And so like, and I live in Louisiana. And so like, and that's what creating this 5 essential lifestyle does. And this is what it does when you start taking care of the environment, your environment internally, putting good stuff in, taking bad stuff out. This is what it does. 60%. This is from the Journal of Manipulative Therapy. And so basically, this is what happens when you live the 5 essential lifestyle. 60% less hospital admissions, 59% less hospital days, 62% less outpatient surgeries, 85% less pharmaceutical costs. This is what happens when you start taking bad stuff out, cleaning your environment, getting adjusted, putting the right foods and things in you. This is what happens. This is what tends to happen right here, which is a lot less expensive than waiting and waiting and waiting until sickness comes. And so it's a little slow. So what's the answer? Like I've been saying, the 5 essentials. And so a lot of you don't know what the 5 essentials are, but this is really what I teach in every talk that I do. Basically what this is core chiropractic. Basically you have to take care of your nervous system. This is really the bread and butter in order to have structural correction in your body. Core chiropractic, nutrition, mindset. You gotta have a good mindset. Oxygen and detoxification. And so like you need oxygen in your muscles. You got to take bad stuff out with detox and things like that. When you do all those 5, if you just do 80% of these 5 essentials, you will become one of the most healthiest human beings on the planet. Because that's how your body has been designed to heal. When you have no junk in your body, you get to live and function the way you were created to do. And so like, and we're going to break those down. And so the key to this, the key to the 5 essentials is to strengthen your immune system. We want a bulletproof immune system, don't we? And so we want, especially right now, we just went through 2020. And so like with 2020, it was a lot of ups and downs in 2020, but we got introduced with Corona. And so with the coronavirus, so you need to really strengthen your immune system. And this is one of the best ways to do it, is to strengthen your immune system, is the 5 essential lifestyle. And so when it comes to mindset, I love this picture. Because there's a difference between buffalo and cows. Yeah. And so scientists have found is that when a storm comes, what a cow does, he tries to run away from the storm. And what they found is that and a buffalo goes towards it. However, or a bison goes towards it. If you run away from the storm, the cow actually stays longer in the storm. So the storm is a lot longer than a cow has to stay in there. However, what bison or buffalo do, they stay in a pack, they get together, and they begin to charge towards the storm. And so it's like iron sharpens iron. And they go towards the storm. And what scientists has found is that the storm is a lot shorter when you go face it. And so when you go charge it. And so, and it's truly amazing because there's many people that are listening right now that are going through a storm. And then you haven't faced it. You've been running. I mean, the media, the world tells you, go hide, go separate yourself, go isolate yourself, get away from people. I'm dealing with physical, emotional stress, spiritual stress, and get away from people. Like, no, like, you got to go towards a different way. You got to face it. And so you got to face whatever is in front of you, whether it's physical, emotional, whatever it is. You got to face it head on, because the time that you spend there will be a whole lot shorter than if you run away from it, because you're dragging it and dragging it and dragging it. So that's the type of mindset that we have to have for the rest of your life. And so you got to face your fears. You got to face whatever is giving you a challenge right now. And so I love this. I love this analogy, but it's not an analogy. It's actually scientific. And so, and then what you start realizing is once you start facing your fear, you start realizing the boogeyman is not as big as you thought. The boogeyman is not as big as you thought. And so, like, and that's why we have to face our fears. And so, whether it is, and it's your health. I mean, when it comes, it's your health is the greatest asset, is the greatest investment you can do in yourself, is your health. I mean, if you lose your health, you lose everything. And so, and I'm not talking about not just your physical health, your emotional health, your relational health, your spiritual health. I mean, all these are all important. And so, but you got to face them. And so, and in these next 6 weeks, this is exactly what we are going to teach you, is how to face all these little things that are challenging us, especially when it regards to your health. And so, this right here, plan to prepare, prepare to fail. You got to plan. So, what I mean by that is that you have to plan meals, plan your workouts, plan your plan the times you're gonna read your Bible, plan the times that you're gonna call your mom that you haven't talked to her, or your relationships around. You got to plan all that, because if not, you plan to fail.
That's the hardest part.
Yes, that is. And so you got to prepare yourself, give yourself time to plan for the week. And so, especially when it comes in regards to your health, plan your grocery shopping. Don't go grocery shopping hungry, because you're going to buy a whole lot more than you should. And so, like, you got to plan everything. In order to succeed and be consistent, you have to plan your days. We call it a war plan. Basically, we have a war plan. Where, throughout, especially on Sunday, we write our war plan and we get ready for the week. We have everything. We got our meals ready, meal planning. We got our exercise routines ready. You know what we're going to do during the week, things like that. So that is very, very, very important. If not, it's going to be very difficult to stay consistent. And it's about consistency. If you don't have consistency, good luck. You know, it's and there's a lot of people that are either watching or here that probably had like before, you've tried a lot of things, but they just weren't successful because it just hasn't been consistent. So, well, this is the time. 2021 is the time to change, is the time to be consistent. And so, especially if you have a goal in mind, especially if you want to live a different lifestyle than what the world is doing. And so, but the first thing I'm going to talk about is core chiropractic. It is one of the most important essentials that this is really what I do right here. And so, but a lot of people think that chiropractic is about like a pain management system. It has very little, that's like in the bottom toe, it has very little to do with pain. It has everything to do with increasing the function of your body. The reason that is because your nervous system controls every cell, tissue, and organ in your body. Your nervous system controls everything in your body. Your skull, your brain is up here, but in order for your brain to talk to anything, it's got to go through your spinal cord and your nerves. There's no other way. And what happens, I'm not sure where my spine is, right here. What did God create? Because it was so important, it created a spine in order to cover it and protect it. It's the only organ in your body that's completely surrounded by bone. And so, because it's so important. And so when you look at a spine, it's supposed to be straight. It shouldn't look like this. And so it's supposed to be straight, up and down. It should have 3 45-degree curves from the side of you. In that position, your body can function at 100% because your brain is able to send signals out here without any type of interference. But what happens is because of different stresses in our life, whether it's emotional, whether it's car wrecks, whether it's everybody's looking down on their cell phone now and computers, whether you have a seating job, whether you drive trucks, whether you're in construction, whether you're fixing roof right now, whether you're whatever stressor that you have right now, these bones, what happens is these bones start getting misaligned and puts tension and pressure on these nerves right here. That's in chiropractic, that's what we call a subluxation. A subluxation in Greek, it says less than light. Sub, less, lux, light. So you're less than light. And subluxation. And so that's why when I adjust people, I say power's on. Amen. Boom, we just flip the switch. We flip the switch. Your light is not dim no more. Because your body is beginning to heal and function. Your brain is able to send signals to the rest of your body in order to function and move and at a better rate. And so without interference. And so like that's why it's so important. Yes, chiropractic helps with pain, helps with all these different types of symptoms. But the goal is to live a life without interference, nerve interference. If you can live a life without any type of interference, your body's able to adapt and move and at a better rate than a person who doesn't. That's why it's so important to get your spine adjusted and looked at. And so, well, we'll talk about more in week 4, and then later on. Function versus feeling. Health equals 100% function. This is big because a lot of people think health is how I feel, right? If I feel good, I'm healthy. But how many people do you know who either goes to church with you or a coworker that all of a sudden they look good and they feel good and boom, they drop dead of a heart attack? I mean, I know a lot of people who've done that. Or they get a diagnosis of cancer all of a sudden. And they look good, they feel good, things like that. Like what happened? And so their body's they're not functioning at 100%. There was a study done, and what they found was in order for you to feel symptoms, like you have to lose at least 40% function. And so that means in order for your body to feel any type of symptom, pain, things like that, it's got to be your cells have to be at 60% function in order to feel a symptom. So what happens at 70%? What happens at 80%? You don't feel anything. And so that's why it's very, very important, to take care of your body. And so because we really don't know what's going on with our bodies, because when you look at cancer and heart disease, those are number 1 and number 2, killers of our country. And what do they both have in common? You really don't feel them until what? Yes. Until you either have a heart attack, or you got a blockage, or you have a stage 3, stage 4, something like that. And so so health is not how you feel, it's not how you look, it's really how you function. And what controls all function is what? Is your nervous system. Your nervous system controls all function in your body because your brain has to tell everything what to do. And so, like, very, very important concept to understand because the majority of people don't understand how the body functions because they never look at the nervous system. That's why chiropractic is so important because it gets you to 100% function. That's where you want to be without interference. And so, nutrition. I can go all day long with nutrition. And so, nutrition is big. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. And so, basically, what the cow ate is what you eat. You know what the pig ate is what you ate, basically. And so it's really about food by God and food by man. Like, do you eat more food by God or you eat food by man? And so, and what I mean by that is, food by God is like an apple, meat, celery, kale, not all these different chemicals with 15 ingredients. You know, like a box thing with 15 ingredients that you can even pronounce, you can even understand, that you need a chemist to come and teach you how to pronounce it. Right. That's food by man. Food by God is what God created. It comes out of the ground that you see. We're in Louisiana, there's a lot of hunters. And so, yeah, shoot deer, things like that. And so, like, that's food by God right there. And so, and then when it comes to, there's a lot, I mean, right now, when it comes to, this is a major source of interference, is poor diet. People are eating too many chemicals. And what I mean by that is that, I mean, if you go to the grocery store and you look at the back of the ingredients, not the nutritional facts, the ingredients, and if you see 15, 20 ingredients, it's probably not good for you. It's just too many ingredients in there. And then if you can't pronounce it and if you can't read it, your body can't read it. Your body can't break it down. So guess what? Your brain and your body's like, what is that? Let's fight it. Your immune system goes in high alert and then starts fighting it, and you're like, oh, why is my stomach? Why am I bloated? Oh, man. Oh, I don't know what came out in the other end. You know, it's just, so you see, is your body is trying to excrete it, trying to take it out. You get inflamed. Some people get like dizzy. Some people get like headaches. When they eat certain foods, they get clogged and things like that. So there's many factors. Just one second.
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? So I'm doing the talk right now.
I'm gonna try to get you with Monday.
Yes. It's so good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Yes. I'll see you Monday. So we had a little interruption, but food by God and food by man. And so, like, you want to eat more things that are by God, not by man. And so, it's not about the calories; it's about the chemicals. Count the chemicals. Now our food is sprayed with glyphosate, which is like Roundup. That's in our food. There's a lot of genetically modified things. There's fake things like that. This is what, if you want to take out the chemicals in your body, this is the most important thing right here, because the more chemicals, a lot of people believe like, especially younger people, they believe that, I can eat whatever I want because I don't feel anything. And so you eat and eat. But the thing is, those are accumulations. Are from where a baby all the way up, you're accumulating. Especially when it comes to chemicals and toxins. You accumulate toxins, and then boom, you have a symptom. Now, you go to the doctor and you expect that doctor to save you. And take all the things that you've lived 20, 25 years of destroying your body, and now you want it in one visit. It just doesn't happen. And so, like, you have to start counting the chemicals and not the calories. BPA, artificial colors, nitrates, like in meats, lunch meats, and things like that. Glyphosate, phthalates, that's in plastic bottles, artificial sweeteners, artificial colors. You gotta count the chemicals. And so processed meats, processed foods is a big thing that a lot of people struggle with. And basically, it's just it's full with nitrates, things like that, which is toxic to your brain. And so neurotoxic to your brain. And so when you eat all these meats constantly, what happens is processed meats and processed foods, like in boxes and stuff like that, it starts affecting your brain, and so it can cause like brain fog, forgetfulness, Alzheimer's, things like that occur, especially if you accumulate those. And so very, very important to know, count the chemicals, not the calories. Minimizing toxins. Okay, this right here is probably the perfect example when it comes to toxins. So from babies all the way up. And so basically your body's like a bucket. And then every chemical, everything, every toxin, you put it in that bucket until it overflows. When it overflows, you have a symptom. And then that symptom, of course, comes in sneezing, wheezing, itching, things like that. And so, like, the key to health is cleaning out that bucket. Because if you go, you get this bucket, you fill it up, and you go to your doctor and say, oh, wait, you have sneezing, you have wheezing? Oh, here you go. Take this, take that. So you're getting rid of the symptom, that's great, but guess what? Your bucket's still full. Your bucket is still full. And so what the 5 essentials is all about is emptying this bucket. If we can empty this bucket, you'll get closer to health than sickness and disease. And so we have to take all the toxicity. You can't add toxins, continue to add toxins and expect to be healthy. You can't continue to add toxins and chemicals inside your body and expect to be healthy. You have to start taking out toxins out of your body in order to create health. And so, let me see if I'm missing anything here. But it's the bucket analogy. And so, we walk side, yeah. And so,
this is mostly in relation to the allergies.
yeah, oh yes. But this is like in relation to all things. And so this is just a little, like your food, your house dust, mold, pollen, things like that. These are allergies, but you can put anything down there. You know, heart disease, autoimmune conditions, and things like that. When you add a bunch of toxins, you're feeding the fuel. And so you're feeding the fire, and it overflows. And the overflowing, what our disease model does, we take care of this. The disease model takes care of this right here, the water in the ground, but it never takes care of this. And then we just keep adding stuff. You know, we just keep adding chemicals and chemicals and chemicals and chemicals, and we just become toxic. And so, like, we live a toxic lifestyle. And so, and the reality is, I mean, we can't avoid stress. I mean, however, we just can't avoid stress. And so the best way to do this, if you can empty this bucket right here in your body, you can empty that bucket, you will be able to adapt to all the stress in your life at a better rate. It doesn't mean that you never get sick. It doesn't mean that you'll never get the sniffles. It will never mean that you won't ever get a headache. It just means that your body's able to adapt better to that stressor than you were before. Because you have an empty bucket. It's not full of chemicals. It's not full of toxicity and things like that. You cannot walk around that, like, you cannot be like full of toxicity and then go around and wear a mask and expect to be healthy. You just can't. And so you can't walk around and be toxic inside your body and then take shots and expect to be healthy. you have to take the toxins out of your body and refill your body with good quality stuff, like good quality stuff that's not full of chemicals, that's food by God. And so and that comes with even the lotion that you wear and things like that, which we're going to talk about that in the next few weeks. And so we're almost done right here. Oxygen and exercise. Basically, you got to move. Your body needs oxygen. Your body needs oxygen to every single cell in your body. Every cell, health is in the cell. So your body has to carry oxygen in the cell. If you're not moving, those cells become hypoxic. That means they lack oxygen and they die earlier. And so and then of course it becomes very toxic. That cell becomes very toxic. And remember about the bucket analogy. You're adding toxins and toxins. So when you don't exercise, you're actually creating toxins inside your body. Yep. Because it becomes hypoxic. And I'm not talking about going to the gym for an hour or hour and a half, 2 minutes. I'm talking about just moving for at least 20 to 30 minutes, just moving hard, that you're at least breaking a sweat and increasing your your heart rate. That's moving. That's exercising. And we're going to show you, especially in the last, in week 6, what is all that about and how you can do it in about 12 minutes. And you're good for the day. And but every time you sweat, you're detoxifying your body. And toxins are getting out of your body. So you're cleaning out that bucket that we talked about. And so that's why that's why exercise is so important for your health. And so, and when it comes to the 5 essentials, we talked about chiropractic, we talked about nutrition, mindset. Stop running away from it. Start facing your fears. We talked about exercise right here and detoxification. Those 5 essentials, we're going to really break it down for the rest of these 1.5 months. In these next 6 weeks, we're going to break those down, and we're going to get more in depth. And so next week, we're going to talk about viruses. Yes, we're going to talk about corona. We're going to talk about how to overcome it if you have corona or if you're trying to prevent it. And we're talking about, flu. We're going to talk about the flu vaccine, the corona vaccine, and things like that. And just, remember, these next 6 weeks, I want to challenge you into thinking differently and to really open up your minds, okay, and be ready to receive, because the world needs truth. It needs hope and truth. And that my hope is that you are blessed and for the next 6 weeks. So, but other than that, for those who are watching, please share this, comment. If you know anybody that needs to hear this, please post their name in there. I look forward to seeing you next week at 11 o'clock on Saturday. Thank y'all so much for coming.